Hello, good afternoon. This is David Sutter talking to you, and today is my weekly trade predictions for the upcoming trading week of November 4th through November 8th, 2019, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at all the major currency pairs, and I'm going to base everything on a 30-minute chart to show you what has happened this past week, and then compare the 30-minute chart to higher time frames such as the 4-hour, daily, and weekly to give you an overall analysis of what I think is going to happen this coming week, okay? So, to begin with, if we look at the EURUSD, GBPUSD, and the AUDUSD, okay? If you look at these three major currency pairs, we all see that they had a steady uptrend, which is pretty much what I predicted the following week, or the previous week, okay? And if we look at USD CHF, USD JPY, and USD CAD, mainly these first two pairs, the US dollar has had a steady drop. Now USD CAD, the Canadian dollar didn't do so well, so it allowed the US dollar to pick up a bit. Okay, so US dollar does not always follow trend, but what I want to point out here is that if the Euro USD, Pound USD, AUD USD like this, right? If all of these are going up, that means the dollar is dropping. Okay. We can see that, and really we see by the US dollar CHF, US dollar Swiss franc, okay, that has steadily been dropping, okay. That's always a good indicator of what the US dollar is doing. So I just want to put that out there to begin with, and we know the US dollar is dropping, all right, and that's pretty much what I predicted last week. But now let's compare some higher time frames and kind of see what's going on. Where we think this price is going to go this coming week. Alright, we look here on the Euro USD and we see this high point right here. I'm going to mark it so you can see, okay? This is a strong level of resistance, okay? We have a red arrow. And that was on the 21st of October, which is like, almost 2 weeks ago. So the price had dropped, and finally come back up to the same level of resistance, and almost hit it 2 times. So, like I said, this past week, the price has been steadily going up, right? But the thing is, it looked like it hit a strong level of resistance, and it's pretty much stalling out right now. So, what I think is going to happen, we see here on the daily and weekly that it wants to go up. Okay? So, we hit this level of resistance 2 times. Okay, what I think is going to happen, and I could be totally wrong, but what I think is going to happen is that it's finally going to push through. Okay, but it's not going to push through right away. We should see a drop. If you see here on the 1 hour chart, okay, we see on the 1 hour chart that hit this resistance right here, and I can bring this down a bit, or bring it down like that. Even this one right here, okay, but this resistance is different, like levels. So what's going to happen is you're going to see probably more of a range of market this week, and the price is going to drop and then retrace back up. Okay, and if we look here, if I zoom out, watch this. I want to kind of show you something. Let's see if this makes sense. We have an uptrend. I know this is not perfect, but close enough, okay? the price that broke through here, but we have all these points that match up, right? And it pretty much matches up right here. And what this is called a rising wedge, where the price goes up like that and then hits a strong level of resistance. Okay, I'm not good at drawing, but but anyhow, what's going to happen is the price is going to drop and come back up and drop again. It's going to get stuck inside right here in this wedge, like a triangle. Okay, and then either one or two things are going to happen. Either the price is going to break and it's going to come into a long downtrend, or the price is going to break and go up. Now this is on a smaller time frame. we need to look at the higher time frames to really get a big picture of what's going on. Okay, and if we look here on the daily, watch this, we get a better analysis of what's going on. And this right here would be our support level, okay, and this is our resistance. So like I said, here's kind of a better pictorial, if you will, of this rising wedge pattern. All right, and like I said, all we have is an up arrow but no down arrow according to the daily chart. And we see the price that come up to this high level before, so I feel there's a really strong chance that this resistance will get broken and it will go up even more. And like, even according to the weekly chart, okay, if I zoom in here a bit, watch this. I could grab this and kind of redraw this a bit, but it's the same basic concept, okay? And actually, let me color that a different color, maybe like this, so you can see it better. But this is the uptrend, okay? And we are expecting this to drop a little bit in the beginning of the week and then bounce back up. So for this week, I would only look for buy opportunities, okay? Since the overall trend is bullish, all right? Look at the higher, smaller time frames, like the 30-minute, 15-minute, and if it drops a little bit, that's okay. That's probably what happened. Like I said, in the beginning of the week, it's going to drop, but by Tuesday, maybe going into Wednesday, it should be a perfect time to buy. And I would buy for long term. You could buy for a few days and probably catch a few hundred pips, if not 1,000. Okay, so this is a really good time to buy. Okay. So anyhow, same thing with GBPUSD, pound USD. If we see here that the price had risen and it's tapered off, right? And if we look at the higher time frames, okay, like the 4-hour, the daily, and even the weekly, we see that it is going to an uptrend. All right. Now the difference here is that the daily has a down arrow. All right. Now this does not mean that it is going to stay. You know, it's going to go into a downtrend. But what I think is going to happen is price is going to drop, probably more than the EURUSD. But we're going to see a good drop in the first half of the week, and then around Wednesday, going into Thursday, we should see a spike back up. Okay. You see on the 4-hour chart, the price hit this level of resistance and started to come down, but then it shot right back up. So that means the overall trend is still bullish. Okay, it's still very strong to go up. So I do not foresee this going to like a long downtrend anytime soon. And what will probably happen is probably will drop, but probably like right around here. This is a strong level of resistance that was broken and is now a support. So we should see it drop, you know, that's about 2,000 pips or points, right? So that'd be a nice drop. So if you want, in the beginning of the week, you could sell and hold, but since the overall trend is showing bullish, meaning it's going to go up, I would wait until we had a good buy opportunity. All right, and you could probably go on like the 4-hour chart like this and put a buy limit, pending order down here, and wait for the price to drop and then catch it on the way back up. Your choice. I'll let you decide exactly how you trade this, but the thing is, all right, that, you know, if we go by the overall trend, we don't want to try to trade against the trend, really. And we don't want to, even on the smaller time frames, like the 5-minute, 15-minute, look for buy opportunities only, okay? Moving to Australian dollar, US dollar, okay? Same scenario, okay? The price had come up and it's pretty much tapered off, right? If we look at the higher time frames, we see that it's hit this level of resistance, but it's slowly working into a uptrend. All right, the daily and weekly showed that strong signal to buy, right? And it's already been going up, and we can draw a trend line like this. I didn't do that right, but we could draw a trend line like this going up and say that's our support. All right, and that's not perfect, but you get the idea. And as of right now, the price has not even gone down to this level. If we go down to the 4 hour, there's a very good possibility that this price could come down to this level and bounce back up. So expect, let me cross here. Expect in the beginning of the week to drop probably about 1,000 pips, right? And it's going to go zigzag, zigzag, and come down and touch probably in here somewhere, I don't know, and then bounce up. Long term is definitely going to go up, okay? But it's going to be a gradual process. So like I said, with all these major currency pairs, the EURUSD, Pound USD, and the AUDUSD, expect them all to drop probably about the first half of the week, and then going to Wednesday and Thursday, we should see a rebound and then go back up. So overall, more or less, it'll be a range of market, but it won't be like you won't see no steady uptrend or steady downtrend, okay? And then moving on to US dollar, Swiss franc, USD CHF, we see that this had a steady downtrend and then it tapered off on the bottom, which is the opposite of what we just saw in the last three currency pairs, right? So what does this mean now? Is this going to shoot back up? Well, the US dollar is the strongest currency in the world, so we probably will see a rebound. All right, we see this strong level of support right here, and I can mark it so you can see, but basically this is the support level, right? It hit here before, went up, came down, hit here, came down again. It's almost at the same level. It has not quite dropped that far. All right, so if you go to the daily chart now, all we have is a down arrow, red arrow currently. We do not have a blue arrow formed yet. So what does all this mean? Is it going to break this support and keep going down, or is it going to go bounce back up? Okay, the weekly, even monthly, all have a red arrow, meaning this is waiting to go into a downtrend. All right, and if we zoom in a bit on the monthly, we see that we have some areas of support, most notably like this one here. Okay, I feel that the price is going to break and come down to this level. I could be wrong, but that's kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen. It looks like this is the resistance coming down and support, okay? And eventually the price is going to drop and hit this support and bounce back up again, and then probably break here and come down. It could break and go up, but this is on a monthly chart, so you might talk about, another 3 or 4 months before we really see what's going to happen, okay? And that's going into next year even. So as of right now, the trend is definitely bearish, meaning it's going to be going down. The question is, and I cannot answer the question, is it going to break the support? So what I think is going to happen, and this is just me, I think we're going to see the price shoot back up again this week. And if we notice here, okay, we had this big resistance up here I drew, but there's also like another smaller downtrend right here, okay? And we zoom out a bit. So we had this support here and this resistance right here, which is like another wedge pattern coming down, okay? So I'm not good at drawing, obviously, but what will probably happen, and I cannot say 100% certain, but it probably will shoot back up, come down, and then finally break out. Okay, so in the beginning of the week, we can expect this to go up, maybe 500-600 points. Look at that. It would take about 800 points for this to, reach this trend line. Okay, so even if it goes up about 600 points and then shoots back down, that's okay. To be 100% safe, I would go by the bigger trend. Okay, I would look for sell opportunities only. So if it goes up in the beginning of the week, that's fine. It probably will. But wait till about Wednesday or so, and then look for sell opportunities. Okay, wait for there to be a strong reversal, unlike the 4-hour and 1-hour charts. Okay, you won't see it on a daily or weekly, but if the 1-hour and 4-hour both show a good signal to sell, especially the 1-hour, okay, you probably get home in on the 1-hour. If this already got an up arrow here, so if it forms another red arrow somewhere in here, you're good, and that is when I would sell, because it's probably going to keep going down, down, down for the long term. Okay, so like I said, if the Euro, Pound USD, AUD USD, all these are going to go down this coming week. All right, they're probably going to drop this week, like I was showing you, and then go back up the middle of the week. US dollar is going to do the opposite. It's going to go up and then back down towards the middle of the week, around Wednesday or Thursday. And US dollar Japanese yen is kind of in the same situation. Typically this has an inverse relationship or pattern to the US dollar Swiss franc. Okay, and you see here that on the 30-minute chart that we had a almost like a range of market, but then we had this big drop off at the end of the week, right? If we look at the higher time frames, we see that the price had hit this level of resistance and is steadily dropping. So what does this mean? I think it's going to continue to drop. Now, according to the bigger time frames, we have a strong signal to sell, okay, except for the monthly, but the weekly and daily show the price to be going up. And if we draw a trend line like this coming up, we see we have a perfect uptrend right here. Okay, and the price has already hit that trend line and is bouncing back up. So if the overall trend for the USD Swiss franc, USD CHF is bearish, meaning it's going to drop, then the overall trend for the US dollar Japanese yen is going to be bullish. It's going to be the opposite. Okay, so we can expect this to be going up long term. And as of right now, from what I'm seeing, it's an excellent time to buy, because this price did not break. It just ever so slightly broke, but it has not broken this trend line. Okay, and if it breaks, if you have two candles that shoot down below here, I would say about maybe 200 points. Let's draw across here. So 200 points is not much, but if it drops about 200 points, maybe 300 points, you're looking at definitely going to a long downtrend. All right, but as of right now, I do not foresee that happening. So this coming week, we should expect the price to keep going up, and it'll probably go up to about this level of resistance. Okay, it hit this resistance before here, and it hit it again. And like I've told you before, this is a wedge pattern, in particular a rising wedge pattern, right? And the price is going to go up here, get stuck, and go up and down inside of here, and then it's either going to break out, break this resistance and keep going up, or it's going to break and come down. What I think is going to happen, and I have no idea because I'm not a fortune teller. If I were, I'd be a trillionaire probably. But the thing is, I think it's going to break and go down. Okay, I could be wrong, but it probably will break and come down to about. We have a level of resistance here. Okay, and support here and resistance here. Okay, so that is a good marker, and if it breaks, it's probably going to come down to that level. Okay, that's what I'm predicting, or else maybe this level of support here. We don't know for sure. It could come down, or it could go up. You know, either way, we don't know. But the thing is, we have a uptrend here, and we have to kind of obey that and watch all of our support and resistances. And once one of these is broken, then we're going to have either a long uptrend or a long downtrend. Okay, the overall trend is bullish, so even if it breaks and comes down, it's going to go back up. Okay, so I would be looking for buy opportunities only this week. And right now, especially according to the 1 hour chart, right now, this very moment is an excellent time to buy. Okay, the price already hit this level of support and is rising back up. Okay, so we should see an uptrend this week. How far it will go, I have no idea. Probably 500-600 points and then shoot back down again. Who knows? But the thing is, if this one is going up, all right, well, if the overall trend here is bearish, the overall trend here is bullish. Okay, now like I said, this one will shoot up in the middle of the week, and probably this one probably will, but we won't see, you know, as much of a uptrend. You're going to see it shoot up some and then come back down, but overall this will be going up because the overall trend is bullish. And here on this one, USD CAD, we saw kind of like a range of market this past week. Price did end higher than it started, obviously, but it's fighting to go down. But like I said, the Canadian dollar was weak also. Now, one thing to note is that this past Friday was non-farm payroll. Okay, but it was only for the US dollar, and there was not that much excitement. But this coming week is the non-farm payroll for the Canadian dollar. So that is, we should see some big news come out for the Canadian dollar, and we're probably going to see a drop in the Canadian dollar. I don't know. But the thing is, if we do, this should shoot up. Okay. As of right now, we have a slight uptrend, and it's hard to say for certain. It looks like this is broken, but overall, you know, it's really impossible to say exactly what's going to happen. But the thing is, if we look here on the 4 hour chart, we see that, you know, like I said, it's already broken a little bit, but overall we have not formed a red arrow. Okay, that's what I was trying to think here. We do not have a red arrow, so overall I think it's going to go up. Okay, because like I said, the Canadian dollar has been weak, and it's not given a chance for the Canadian dollar to go up and allow the US dollar to come down. All right, and both these pairs have actually weakened. So which is the lesser of the two evils? You know, who is the stronger here? If both of these have weakened, then we're not going to see any big uptrends or downtrends really. So I see more of a range of market. So this week, probably going to see more of a range of market. Do expect the price to go up and then back down. I don't know how, at what point. I would probably guess, I don't know, it's kind of like a downtrend here with an uptrend, okay? So if I zoom in here, and like I said, this is not perfect, but we can expect the price to shoot back up and hit this resistance and then break out. So like I said, this is a daily chart, so expect the first couple of days of the week for the price to go up, and then around Wednesday we should see a breakout and the price should drop and come back down. Okay, according to the daily chart, we have a red arrow and no blue arrow, but the 4 hour has an up arrow and no red arrow. So maybe this will come up and hit and form a red arrow because it already hit 2 times here. So maybe 3rd time's a charm, we don't know. And it slightly broke right here, so there is a good chance it could keep dropping. But the fact that there's no red arrow leads me to believe that this price is going to go back up, and then around the middle of the week, Tuesday or Wednesday, it's going to hit this resistance and it's going to definitely go into a long downtrend. So what do? Look for sell opportunities only for the USD CAD, okay? Even though, like I said, they're both have weakened, watch out this Friday for the non-farm payroll, and just let me know if you have any questions, okay? Contact me if you have any questions about this analysis or any other currency pair that you want to analyze, okay? There's hundreds and hundreds of currency pairs. If you have a different currency that you want me to examine, please contact me on Facebook, and I'll be more than happy to try and help you. Or, I can help you with this analysis or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Just let me know, because I'm here for you, and that's what matters. All right. So, anyhow, there's a link below in the description of the video for my personal Facebook. Also, there is a link for my private Facebook group. If you have not joined my Facebook group, please do so. This way you can post any questions or comments in my Facebook group, and then myself or other traders can be happy to assist you, and we all have a group discussion about this analysis or your analysis or whatever. Okay, so I'm always open to your ideas, but overall the US dollar is going to be dropping. Okay, it's going to be bearish. It's going to a bear market, and this is going to allow the other currencies like the euro and the Great British pound to go up. Okay, so with that said, I really wish you the best this week. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you.